What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be doing Job chapter 3. So if you missed the other videos, go back and check on those real quick so you can kind of get an idea of where we are and what's happening. I'll probably do a little recap video. So up until this point, Satan has incited God to anger against Job twice. The first time, he basically took all of his property, livestock, and children were killed or taken away. The second time that Satan enticed God against Job, he was covered with boils from the soles of his feet to the top of his head. And where we last left off, he was basically sitting on the ground in a pile of ashes. His 3 friends had come to kind of visit with him, comfort him, pray for him, and kind of help him get out of this situation that he's in. So where we're about to pick up, Joe's about to start talking. They've been sitting there for 7 days and 7 nights. No one said a word. And Job is finally about to speak. So it says, "After this, Job opened his mouth and cursed the day of his birth. And Job spoke and said, May the day perish on which I was born, and the night in which it was said, a male child is conceived. May that day be darkness. May God above not seek it, nor the light shine upon it. May darkness and the shadow of death claim it. May a cloud settle on it. May the blackness of the day terrify it. As for that night, may darkness seize it. May it not rejoice among the days of the year. May it not come into the number of the months. Oh, may that night be barren. May no joyful shout come into it. May those curse it who curse the day, those who are ready to arouse Leviathan. May the stars of its morning be dark. May it look for light but have none, and not see the dawning of the day, because it did not shut up the doors of my mother's womb, nor hide the sorrow from my eyes. Why did I not die at birth? Why did I not perish when I came from the womb? Why did the knees receive me, or why the breasts that I should nurse? For now I would have lain still and been quiet. I would have been asleep, that I would have been at rest with kings and counselors of the earth, who built ruins for themselves, or with princes who had gold, who filled their houses with silver. Or why was I not hidden like a stillborn child, like infants who never saw light? There the wicked cease from troubling, and the weary are at rest. There the prisoners rest together. They do not hear the voice of the oppressor. The small and the great are there, and the servant is free from his master. Why is light given to him who is in misery, and life to the bitter of soul, who long for death, but it does not come, and search for it more than hidden treasures, who rejoice exceedingly, and are glad when they can find the grave? Why is light not given to a man? Why is light given to a man whose way is hidden, and whom God has hedged in? For my sighing comes before I eat, and my groanings pour out like water. For the thing I greatly feared has come upon me, and what I dreaded has happened to me. I am not at ease, nor am I quiet. I have no rest, for trouble comes." So Job is really struggling here. He's having a hard time dealing with what's happened to him, the loss of his family, the loss of his property, and now the intense amount of pain and agony that he's going through. His friends have came. They've basically just sat and stared at him for the past 7 days, maybe crying together, maybe praying, silently to themselves. It doesn't really let us know what happened up until Job makes this statement. I do apologize for saying Joe. I know a couple Joes, and I don't know why that keeps slipping in there. Job is what I mean to say, though. So he's having a hard time, even though it wasn't that long ago that he said to his wife, we got to take the bad with the good, basically. Now he's sitting in his pile of ashes, basically suffering, and he's just cursing the day that he's been born. He wishes the day wouldn't have happened. He doesn't understand why God would let him be born, bless him the way that he had blessed him, just to take it all away and to leave him basically destroyed and broken down in this pile of ashes. He's crying out. He's upset. I think this is something that we can relate to. Not understanding, why something's happening to us, why God hasn't intervened and calmed our storm. So I think we can relate to this part of Job as far as how he cries out to the Lord, how he's not holding anything back. I mean, he's basically saying, I wish I was never born. I mean, he's not basically saying it. He is, in fact, saying, I wish I was never born. Curse the day that I was born. May God not seek it. So that's what Job says in relation to how he's dealing with these things that have happened to him. Now, we know his friends have been sitting there for 7 days, but we have no idea how long Job has been sitting on the ground, scraping his blisters and boils with his potsherd. We have no idea how long it's been since he was afflicted with the boils up until this point. The only time reference that we have are that his friends have been sitting there for 7 days. But we have to acknowledge the fact that they had to first hear of his adversity. They had to get together, and it says basically that they made a plan to go see Job together, all 3 of them, to try to help him. And those are just things that take time. I mean, so it's not like he was cursed with the boils and the next day his friends showed up. There was time in between there. And then there was 7 more days before he even spoke this to his friends and actually let them know where his mind was at and what he was feeling about the situation. So in the next video, and video number 7, we are going to go over the first response, the first of Job's friends to speak up and basically give his opinion about what he thinks is going on and why he thinks it's going on. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to follow along and catch the rest of these videos. I haven't fully decided, but I've halfway decided that what I would like to do is explore some of the Gentiles in the Old Testament. That's kind of where I'm at right now. That's kind of where I feel like I'm being led, is to explore and share some of the Old Testament Gentiles who still acknowledged and were saved by the Lord. So again, thank you guys for watching. Everyone have a blessed day. Love you, and I'll see you next time.